Okay, so what we're going to do is demonstrate how you start up the iSimulate units when you're ready to use them. The iPads and the monitors should both be plugged in, and they've each got their designated spots. So the first thing you do is grab the controller iPad, which is plugged into the wall, and disconnect it here so that stays plugged into the wall. The charging cord that's hooked to the monitor stays permanently attached to the monitor, so you just need to follow it back and unplug it from the power source, and then you're ready to go. Once you've got this, the next step is you need to get a battery. So the batteries we have here are the main batteries that we're going to use. You unplug one of these from the charger, and then you're going to plug two things into it. The first thing you do is plug in the router. They're color-coded to make it easy. You plug the router in, and you'll know that it worked because the light comes on in the router so you can see it light up. That's how we know it's turned on. Tuck that inside the bag. After, you also plug in the monitor. So the iPad that is the monitor screen gets plugged into the little iPad spot here, and then you can tuck them both in. When you close the case, please be careful with the zippers. It's a really bad design, but the zippers get in the way of this little plastic cover, so you have to sort of take a second to pull them out of the way and then close the cover. The plastic case is only accessed to power up the router, to put the battery in and get it connected. Throughout our scenarios, there's no reason to open that again. So once that's done, you can then reach back here, and inside the pouch are two zippers that will zip up and then hold that in place. The next thing we're going to do is fire up the iSimulate system, the REALITi 360 system, so it's ready to go. A couple of basic steps you need to do. The first is you go to the settings button and you want to go to the Wi-Fi, and you need to check and make sure that it's connected to iSimulate, whichever number is in front of you. So it says iSimulate 6, it should do that automatically, so now you're connected to the router that's in bag number 6. You then take the controller iPad, you do the same thing. You go to settings, and you can either just glance there and see that it's connected to iSimulate 6, or you can go and verify. If for some reason it's not connected to iSimulate 6, you can find that router, select it, and on the home screen of the iPad is the password that you'll need to use if you need to reconnect it. Once you have both units connected, you can get out of the settings button, and on the iPad monitor, the push button, the little depression that you normally hit with your thumb, is hidden behind this. So you have to push right there on that little spot next to the charger, and it takes a little bit of a pressure, but you can get it to go. Once you know that both units are connected to the router and you know you're ready to use them, you start with the monitor, and it'll come up in with the REALITi 360 screen. Then you do the same thing. The little REALITi symbol is the orange ring down in the shortcut menu. You choose that, and it'll come up, and it'll say tap to connect. I say tap to connect. If there was more than one monitor hooked up to this router, it's going to show me that. Right now, RCC monitor 6 is the only one, and obviously that's the one I want. So I touch it, I say connect, and we're ready to go. If I select a monitor here, I can go in and pick the Zoll monitor, for example. It comes up there. So I know it's working, it's ready to start my scenario. I can choose from a whole variety of pre-programmed scenarios that we have there, generic healthy start, and then go from there. In a separate video, I talk about some of the ins and outs of running the simulator, but that connection piece is what you need to get started.